Well, just a great team victory. I thought offense, defense, kicking game, it was complimentary football, great team win. We've got an unconventional offense that Midland High runs that's here, and we did a great job of defending the run, which it was a line of scrimmage game. We were able to limit them running the ball. They're one of their lowest totals of the year with that triple option offense, and then we were able to run the ball. They drop 8 coverage team, and that opens up lanes to run the ball, and 261 rushing yards later, we had game control. We kind of flipped the script on them. Really proud of the guys, the way we played, and certainly coming back after a rain delay, and then you got to kind of get yourself ready from a mental standpoint. Just really proud of the guys overall. Great victory, puts us in great position to finish out district play.
It seems like teams keep trying to scheme to stop y'all from going over the top on them, but at what point, because this is another game where you had more than 250 yards rushing, what point are they going to scheme?
Well, that's what I love about our team is that, what the defense does, and we've got answers for that. And I reminded the guys this morning, I said, look, this is 2 weeks in a row we've rushed for over 250 yards. When we've played drop 8 teams, it just said, we're going to make tight windows out there and make it difficult to throw the ball over the top down the field. 3 weeks ago, we played a team that pressured and blitzed and played a lot of man coverage, and we had 400, plus yards of passing offense that game. But I love the flexibility within this team and the coaching staff, and they buy in. I mean, it's the guys know, all right, they're dropping 8, get ready to go, running backs, here we go. We're going to have a day. So really effective and efficient offensive football. So I love it that we have the ability, we're not a one-trick pony. This is a team that can move the ball different ways down the field, and we've showed that different games this season.
One thing I've noticed about this team, Coach, like I mentioned earlier, against Permian, you guys have that easy pick 6 early on. It's kind of a drive killer, kind of a team killer. And then you guys go into this week, back-to-back 4th down stops to start the game for you guys after a delay. But the guys will back. And it just, not even throughout the whole game, but just to the end of that first half was probably the bigger part of it. How do these guys keep really believing in this? How do they keep buying into this? What can you kind of...
Well, I think that they have the right mindset. I really believe that. These guys are strong-minded. I think weak-minded players, as soon as one thing kind of doesn't go my way, it's difficult and challenging for them to rally and get back. And, these football games in 2-6A, I've said, from the beginning, it's a 48-minute fist fight you got to be ready for. And it doesn't, it's not over in the first quarter of the game. It takes an entire game, and you got to stay with the process and do your job that entire time. So I think the mental makeup that our team has, to be able to, come back 5.5 minutes to go in the half, and we're down 10, great drive, touchdown, we get a 3 and out, drive down, walk off field goal, the game's tied now, and we had game control from that point and never looked back. So I think to answer the question, it's the mental makeup that the players have. I think, when you're strong mentally, you understand games are long, and there's many opportunities to make plays, and if a few didn't go our way, they certainly will if we keep playing, and that's what happened Saturday.
All right, Coach, you got another road trip this weekend, headed back to Ratliff to play Odessa High. Odessa High is not exactly the strongest opponent in the district, but they run that spread and they can throw the ball around. What do we expect?
Exactly that. I think that they do a really good job creatively on offense to move the ball. You look at them and you see, man, they've got really good schemes as they try to attack the opponents that they've played. Unfortunately for them, they get kind of behind early in games, and then you kind of have to be in desperation mode earlier than you thought. But you can see it early on in games. They really do a good job of scheming up opponents creatively to move the ball and to try to stop them as well. So, I told the guys, our focus this week is on the Bobcats, which it always is each week. We view it as a nameless, faceless opponent. We prepare for somebody and what we're going to see, but our main focus is on us, my execution, doing my job on this play, whether it's against Odessa High or whoever the opponent may be. So if I keep my focus on executing my job and doing my assignment, the opponent becomes irrelevant. I'm just here to execute and help the team win. So that's kind of our focus with the guys this week.
Coach, when you play a team that is not to the standard of other teams in the district, but it's still a district game, it's still meaningful, it's still going to be a grudge match. How do you get a team that is ticking upwards to not play to the level of its envelope?
That's a great question. And that was the first thing that I addressed this morning at the team meeting, is that, I tell them the truth. For this team is 0-8. They haven't, done a great job so far this season, haven't won a game. But if you just look at their record, and then that's how I'm going to judge, you know, what my performance is going to look like this week. The game punishes you. You know, if you approach everyday practice and everyday meetings and everyday my preparation to get ready, the game will reward you. So this is a good team, you know, and in this league, they're kind of at the bottom of it right now. But, you know, I anticipate us to have a great week of practice and to go out and to perform, you know, at a high level. I used Indiana as an example with them. You know, it's a great kind of comp in college football. You know, a great team, they go on the road at Oregon, and everyone thinks Oregon's going to win that game, and Indiana wins it. And then, well, are they going to have a letdown when they play somebody not as good the following week? No, they had another beat down, you know. And then this past week, you know, they won 60 points, you know, on whoever it was, I can't remember.
UCLA.
But yeah, UCLA comes in, and it's like 60-7 or something, and that's the mindset and the approach that you're looking for. And I use that as a comp with them, is that, look, you see these teams, you know, they got a big victory right there, but the best ones follow that up with even greater victories. So that's what I'm hoping to get from the team this week.
Now, it's pretty much the complete opposite scheme as the team that you played last week. How important is stuff like that you do on offense, such as like time of possession and running the football, going to be, just to make sure that even if you're up, Odessa High can't come back?
Yeah, I think, you know, there's a formula to win every game, and it looks a little bit different, and kind of that's my job to figure that out from week to week. So, you know, and some of it is kind of figured out as the game goes. But I love right where we are right now. I feel like we played a complete football game on Saturday, and then we're going to face a good quality opponent right here as well. And then to be able to come in and do our job and execute, you know, and take all the external factors out, that you're on the road, that the opponent may not be as good, you know, that you have a huge lead, or that it's a tight game. If you have the mindset to focus on executing my job on this play right now, you know, with the right mental disposition, then we'll be okay. You know, if we begin to, you know, think about other things outside of executing my assignment, that's where you find yourself getting into trouble.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck.